What really happens when a celebrity walks down the aisle, not just into marriage, but into a political dynasty, a business empire, or a millionaire's legacy? On the surface, it looks like a fairy tale. Designer weddings, private jets, power connections. But behind the glamour, these unions often come with influence, pressure, and sometimes even quiet controversy. Some of these marriages strengthened empires. Others sparked rumors, public scrutiny, and whispers of power plays behind closed doors. Were they built purely on love? Or was there more at stake than the public ever realized? From political heavyweights to old money elites and corporate heirs, today we're diving into celebrities who didn't just marry rich, they married into power. And as you'll see, not every story ended the way fans expected. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future uploads, because the next revelations might surprise you even more. Not every celebrity marriage explodes into headlines or controversy. Some build their wealth quietly. And that's exactly what makes this next couple interesting. When Bianca Gonzalez married JC Intal, it didn't feel like a calculated power move. There were no political dynasties shaking hands in the background, no billionaire scandals, no dramatic exposés. Instead, it was a union built on stability and strategic growth. JC Intal wasn't just known for his basketball career in the PBA. Beyond the court, he comes from a financially comfortable and well-established family. And over the years, he's ventured into business and investment opportunities. While he may not headline a massive conglomerate, his financial footing is solid, something that often gets overlooked because it isn't flashy. Bianca, on the other hand, carved her own path in media. Intelligent, articulate, and respected, she built credibility long before marriage. When they tied the knot, it wasn't about elevating one another's status. It was more like merging two already stable brands. And that's what makes their story subtly powerful. No public meltdowns, no explosive rumors dominating headlines, just steady growth, family life, and smart moves behind the scenes. In an industry where drama often fuels relevance, their low-profile approach almost feels rare. But don't let the calm exterior fool you. Quiet wealth can be just as strategic as loud empires. Still, as stable as this marriage appears, the next couple's story couldn't be more different. Because when showbiz royalty meets a media empire built over decades, things get far more complicated. Still, stability doesn't always mean silence. Sometimes a marriage steps straight into public debate and stays there. When Pauleen Luna married Vic Sotto, the headlines were impossible to ignore. The age gap alone sparked endless conversations online. Critics questioned it, fans defended it. Social media buzzed for months, but beneath the noise was something far more significant than public opinion. Vic Sotto isn't just a household name. He's part of a television dynasty. As one of the pillars of Eat Bulaga and a longtime figure in Philippine entertainment, he helped build a media empire that dominated noontime television for decades. Production companies, box office hits, endorsement deals. This wasn't just celebrity wealth, it was generational influence. Marrying into that kind of legacy meant stepping into an already established powerhouse brand. Pauleen transitioned from being a young host into part of one of the most recognizable entertainment families in the country. And despite the early controversy, the couple maintained a united front. Over time, the criticism softened. Public appearances became warmer. Their family life, especially with their daughter, reshaped the narrative from controversial to committed. What once felt like headline drama slowly evolved into acceptance. But here's the deeper layer. In showbiz, longevity equals power. And Vic's decades-long dominance in media created a foundation few could rival. Pauleen didn't just marry a man. She married into one of television's most enduring empires. Yet while this union was rooted in entertainment power, the next couple took it a step further. Because when two A-list stars combine forces, they don't just inherit wealth, they create an empire of their own. But inheriting influence is one thing. Building it from scratch as a duo? That's a different level entirely. When Marian Rivera married Dingdong Dantes, it wasn't about marrying into old money or a political dynasty. It was the union of two reigning superstars at the peak of their careers. And together, they didn't just maintain their fame, they multiplied it. Their wedding alone felt like a national event. Massive viewership, wall-to-wall media coverage. Brand deals lined up before the ceremony even ended. But beyond the spectacle, what truly stands out is how strategically they've managed their image. Both Marian and Dingdong are endorsement magnets. From beauty brands to household products, their combined commercial power turned them into one of the most bankable couples in Philippine entertainment. Add real estate investments and business ventures behind the scenes, and it becomes clear this isn't just celebrity income, it's structured wealth. And unlike marriages that rely on one dominant name, theirs feels balanced. Two strong brands, two loyal fan bases, two carefully curated public personas. Of course, being at the top always invites speculation. Online whispers occasionally question how they maintain such a polished image. But there's never been anything substantial. Just the usual scrutiny that follows anyone living at that level of visibility. What makes their story compelling is that they didn't marry into power. They became it. Together, they built an empire rooted in influence, relevance, and long-term strategy. But if you think combining two A-listers is impressive, wait until politics enters the picture. Because the next marriage connects showbiz royalty to one of the country's most recognizable political families. But when entertainment power collides with political legacy, the stakes rise far beyond endorsements and box office numbers. When Sharon Cuneta married Francis Pangilinan, it wasn't just a celebrity wedding. It was a merging of two influential worlds. Sharon, long crowned as the megastar, had already built a decade-spanning career in film, television, and music. Her name alone carried weight. But Francis Pangilinan brought something different to the table: political authority and dynastic connections. As a multi-term senator with deep roots in public service, Pangilinan represents a powerful political lineage. Marrying into that sphere meant Sharon's world expanded beyond showbiz headlines and into national conversations. Suddenly, public appearances weren't just red carpet moments. They were campaign rallies, advocacy events, and policy discussions. And with politics comes scrutiny. Over the years, the couple has faced waves of online criticism and heated debates, especially during election seasons. Social media amplified every statement, every post, every family issue. Even their children occasionally found themselves pulled into public discourse, something that shows just how intense the spotlight can become when politics is involved. Still, they've maintained a united image, presenting themselves as partners not only in marriage, but in advocacy. Sharon's influence in entertainment complements Pangilinan's political reach, creating a dynamic that blends celebrity appeal with legislative power. But if you think navigating political scrutiny is intense, the next story dives even deeper into family dynasties, where love meets legacy and public perception isn't always so forgiving. But marrying into a political family doesn't always come with red carpets and campaign rallies. Sometimes it comes with quiet tension and intense public curiosity. When Iwamoto entered a relationship with Pampi Lacson, the conversation quickly shifted beyond showbiz. Pampi is the son of Ping Lacson, a long-serving and highly visible political figure in the Philippines. That last name alone carries weight. Discipline, authority, and a reputation built over decades in public service. Unlike some of the grand weddings we've seen on this list, their story unfolded more privately. But that didn't stop the scrutiny. Fans and critics alike speculated about how the dynamic worked behind closed doors. How does a bold, outspoken actress adjust to the expectations of a political clan? How does a family known for strong public image handle showbiz's unpredictable spotlight? Over the years, Iwa has been open about her personal struggles and growth, which only made the public more invested in her journey. Supporters admired her transformation into a devoted partner and mother. Still, online whispers occasionally surfaced, suggesting possible family tensions, though none were ever confirmed. But if this relationship felt quietly complex, the next one exploded in full public view. Because when one of the country's most powerful media personalities married a sports icon, the aftermath became impossible to ignore. But nothing prepares you for what happens when two larger-than-life personalities collide under the brightest spotlight imaginable. When Kris Aquino married James Yap, it wasn't just entertainment news. It was national obsession. Kris wasn't only a media powerhouse. She was also part of the iconic Aquino political dynasty. James, on the other hand, was one of the PBA's most celebrated stars, with endorsements, business ventures, and massive fan support backing him. Their wedding felt like a fairy tale crossover between politics, sports, and showbiz. Cameras followed every moment. Interviews aired constantly. Their relationship became content. But fairy tales don't always stay magical. Rumors began circulating. Reports claimed tensions behind the scenes. Public statements grew more emotional. And eventually, their separation unfolded in front of millions. Legal discussions, custody matters, televised interviews. Nothing stayed private for long. The fallout wasn't just personal. It became a media spectacle. Supporters picked sides. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Every statement was dissected. Every silence analyzed. For Kris, who built a brand on transparency, the openness about her struggles only intensified public engagement. For James, the pressure of maintaining his image while navigating controversy added another layer of complexity. What made this marriage different wasn't just wealth or influence, it was visibility. When you combine a political dynasty's heir with a sports superstar, privacy disappears. And yet, even that level of public drama pales compared to what happened in the next story. Because this next marriage didn't just end in headlines. It spiraled into accusations, international tension, and a controversy that still lingers today. And just when you think a public separation is intense, this next story takes it across international borders and into far more serious territory. When Ruffa Gutierrez married Turkish businessman Yilmaz Bektas, it seemed like a glamorous escape into elite European wealth. Bektas came from a powerful and affluent business background in Turkey, moving in circles of influence in high society. For Ruffa, a former beauty queen and actress from a showbiz dynasty herself, it looked like a union of status and luxury. Their wedding and early married life appeared lavish. International travel, upscale lifestyles, the kind of story that tabloids frame as a real-life fairy tale. But behind the elegance, cracks began to show. Over time, Ruffa publicly opened up about the difficulties she faced in the marriage. Allegations surfaced. Interviews hinted at emotional distress and serious conflict. The separation that followed wasn't quiet. It was emotional and highly publicized. Custody battles and legal issues reportedly stretched across countries, adding layers of complexity and tension. The public was shocked. Support poured in, but so did speculation. Some reports claimed the relationship had been troubled far earlier than anyone realized. Others questioned how much of the truth was ever fully revealed. What makes this union stand out isn't just wealth. It's how quickly luxury turned into turbulence. It's a reminder that marrying into international business power doesn't guarantee protection from chaos. But sometimes controversy doesn't unfold years later. Sometimes it begins the moment wedding photos hit the internet. When Mina married Dave Almarinez, the ceremony itself became a trending topic. It was grand, elegant, and widely shared across social media. Supporters celebrated the union, but critics? They had questions. Dave Almarinez is not just a businessman. He has also been involved in government service and politics. That connection alone brought a different layer of scrutiny. Whenever politics enters the equation, public perception shifts. People begin analyzing motives, alliances, and long-term ambitions. Ara, who has spent decades in the entertainment industry, has seen her fair share of headlines. Yet this marriage placed her under a different microscope. Instead of showbiz gossip, conversations centered around governance, influence, and power circles. Despite the noise, the couple maintained a composed public image. Appearances remained polished. Statements were measured. They projected stability. Still, when politics and celebrity intertwine, narratives rarely stay simple. The public watches closely, waiting for signs, good or bad. But if this union sparked debate because of political connections, the next one moves into something even more exclusive. Old money business networks, international ties, and a level of quiet wealth that rarely needs to defend itself online. But political influence isn't the only kind of power that commands respect. Sometimes the most formidable empires are the ones that rarely make noise. When Isabelle Daza married Adrien Semblat, it wasn't surrounded by scandal or controversy. Instead, it felt almost understated, which in elite circles can say a lot. Adrien comes from the Semblat family, a well-established European business clan with deep ties to corporate ventures in the Philippines and abroad. Real estate, distribution, large-scale enterprises, the kind of wealth that moves quietly through boardrooms rather than headlines. It's not flashy, it's structured, it's long-term. Isabelle herself grew up around influence. As the daughter of former Miss Universe Gloria Diaz, she was no stranger to high society. But marrying into the Semblat network expanded her world beyond entertainment and into international business circles. What makes this union compelling is its discretion. No public feuds, no viral controversies, no dramatic interviews. Instead, carefully curated glimpses of family life, travel, and success. And that's often how old money influence operates. It doesn't need to trend to remain powerful. Of course, with wealth of that scale, speculation occasionally bubbles up. Online chatter about investments, properties, or lifestyle spending. But unlike more volatile relationships on this list, nothing substantial has ever shaken their image. It's polished, it's private, it's strategic. But even global business connections don't compare to the weight of a surname that already carries influence within the country's inner circles. When former beauty queen and entrepreneur Rissa Mananquil Trillo married Paolo Trillo, it wasn't surrounded by explosive headlines. Yet it quietly connected two influential networks. Paolo Trillo has served as governor of Antique, building his name in regional politics and governance. While not always dominating national headlines, provincial leadership in the Philippines can be incredibly powerful. Local dynasties often control economic direction, development projects, and business relationships within their regions. Rissa, on the other hand, transitioned from pageantry into entrepreneurship, carving out her own space in the beauty and wellness industry. She wasn't entering the marriage as someone seeking status. She already had her own brand and business credibility. What makes their union intriguing isn't drama, it's alignment. Politics at the provincial level, combined with entrepreneurial savvy, creates a network that's both socially and economically strategic. Their circles overlap with business leaders, political families, and long-established clans. There's very little controversy attached to their story. No viral accusations, no public feuds. And perhaps that's the point. In elite environments, discretion is currency. Still, influence doesn't always need noise to be powerful. Sometimes it works behind the scenes, shaping opportunities in ways the public never fully sees. But if this marriage reflects quiet political control at the provincial level, the next one connects to national power, where Senate seats, luxury lifestyles, and social media scrutiny collide in ways that can't be ignored. When fashion icon and actress Evangelista married Senator Chiz Escudero, it was more than a wedding. It was a fusion of high fashion and high office. Hart was already known for her luxurious lifestyle, International Fashion Week appearances, and high-end brand partnerships. Her social media presence radiates elegance. Designer bags, Paris runways, art collections. But marrying a long-serving senator instantly placed her inside the political spotlight. And that spotlight can be unforgiving. Over the years, online critics have questioned everything from her lavish purchases to how her public image aligns with political life. Rumors have occasionally circulated about marital tension, with social media users dissecting posts and absences for hidden meaning. To be clear, much of that remains speculation. The internet often builds narratives out of fragments, but even this union, filled with prestige and influence, isn't the most explosive on our list. Because the final story involves immense wealth, serious controversy, and a name that once dominated headlines for all the wrong reasons. And just when you think power and prestige can't get any more intense, this final story proves otherwise. When Vina Morales became romantically linked to businessman Cedric Lee, it immediately drew attention. Not just because of celebrity appeal, but because of the powerful family behind his name. Cedric Lee comes from the prominent Lee clan, a family long associated with significant business interests in the Philippines. For many, the connection signaled serious wealth and influence. On paper, it looked like another union between entertainment and financial power. But this story didn't unfold quietly. Over time, Cedric Lee's name became entangled in high-profile legal controversies that dominated national headlines. Allegations surfaced. Court proceedings followed. Media coverage intensified. While the details were complex and heavily debated in public forums, one thing was clear. The situation placed enormous pressure on anyone connected to him. For Vina, whose career had already spanned decades in music and television, the association brought unavoidable scrutiny. Even after their separation, the headlines didn't simply disappear. Discussions lingered, speculation continued, and the public remained curious about what truly happened behind closed doors. This wasn't just about wealth anymore. In many ways, this final story captures the risk that comes with marrying into immense financial power, especially when controversy strikes. Because when influence, money, and legal drama collide, the fallout rarely stays private. And looking back at every story we've covered, a pattern starts to emerge. Some of these marriages were quiet and strategic. Others were glamorous and widely celebrated. And a few turned into headline-dominating storms that no one saw coming. But in every single case, one thing stayed constant. When fame intersects with wealth, the stakes are never small. Whether it's political dynasties, old money business clans, international tycoons, or self-made entertainment empires, these unions reshaped careers, reputations, and public perception. Some couples strengthened their brands together. Others faced scrutiny that tested everything. It raises an uncomfortable but fascinating question. When celebrities marry into power, is it purely love? Or does legacy, influence, and opportunity quietly play a role? We may never fully know what happens behind closed doors, but one thing is certain: when empires are involved, the world will always be watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like the video, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe so you don't miss our next upload.